So The Miz managed to be WWE champion for longer than 24 hours, but will he manage to be WWE champion for longer than a week? Stay tuned. This is your Raw review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about Monday Night Raw, the night after Elimination Chamber. I actually recorded an Elimination Chamber review. And I don't know, as I was exporting it from my computer, all kinds of madness happened. And I said, you know what? Forget it. But obviously, we all know what happened at Elimination Chamber. The Miz became WWE champion, and his challengers are queuing up. They're coming in for him thick and fast. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. So stay tuned. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that's WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the Raw review. The show opened up with The Miz. He was coming out. He was introduced by John Morrison, in fact, a segment of Miz TV, a celebration segment. He came out looking like $1 million. You know, we have to admit it. You know, he looks good with the title. And he came out to the ring and he was saying how he's the Babe Ruth of WWE, 10 years on from winning it for the first time. He's now circled back round. He's won it again. He done exactly what he said he was going to do. And he's saying, the kind of level of caliber guys that aren't up to him. And he's naming wrestlers and all that kind of stuff. And he's halfway going through all of this and he's interrupted by the Hurt Business. MVP and Bobby Lashley come down to the ring. They get into the ring and they congratulate him on winning the WWE championship and everything. And Miz tries to kind of just say, yeah, well, guys, I'm in the middle of celebrating right now, so you might want to just thank you for your congratulations and you can continue on your way. MVP says, no, business isn't done here. We have to talk about our agreement. The agreement that we made yesterday at Elimination Chamber. The agreement being because John Morrison basically costed Bobby Lashley the United States Championship. MVP would organize that Bobby Lashley would help The Miz win the WWE Championship. However, Bobby Lashley gets first dibs on that title shot. And we assumed that this was, we assumed yesterday at Elimination Chamber that this was what was the agreement that was in place. And The Miz went on to kind of say, well, yeah, I agree that is the case. However, I can't, give it to him anytime soon. I've got PR to do, I've got interviews to do, all of this kind of stuff because I'm now WWE champion. And Bobby Lashley, he wasn't, he had a look on his face like, you're not gonna weasel your way out of this one. That's not what we agreed. He pulled Miz in close by his tie, by his collar, and pulled him in and said that, I'm giving you 1 hour to make your decision on are you going to give me this match? Otherwise, he's going to brutalize you. His verbiage was so good here. He was like, oh, it's going to be painful. It's going to be merciless. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, he really made Miz have a double think about the decision he's going to make. And like I said, the Miz had 1 hour on the night to make his decision. So yeah, that was the opening segment of Raw. Very good, very effective. This is the best Miz TV has been in ages. And yeah, Bobby Lashley, not someone that we hear get on the mic often, not someone that we associate with great promos and stuff like that, but this was exceptional. This was really good. So yeah, set us up nicely for the rest of the evening. Next up on the show, we had the new United States champion, Riddle. He came down to the ring. He had a match with John Morrison. These are the other two guys, I guess, that were in the championship match from the night before an Elimination Chamber. Really good match. It's just so I don't know, I don't know how many people enjoy this kind of goofy Riddle side. I don't particularly. But when he gets in the ring, like literally once he kicks off the flip-flops, he's a whole new man. He can go, and obviously we know John Morrison is so talented within the ring. The one thing with John Morrison that I would say is that am I the only one that thinks his kicks don't look powerful? Like he strikes his kicks in a variety of really interesting ways, but his kicks actually don't look like hard hitting. You see what I mean? Um, but yeah, he went up for a Starship Pain. It didn't come to fruition because Riddle got up and then Riddle basically caught him, put him in a Broderick, and pinned him. So this wasn't a championship match, but yeah, Riddle got the win over John Morrison, and Riddle celebrated with his new United States Championship. Hi Arpit, I see Arpit in the chat. Arpit says that Bobby Lashley's best promo, I guess. Yeah, I think this was probably Bobby Lashley's one of his best WWE promos. Anyway, I can't speak to work he's done elsewhere, but definitely in WWE, this is one of the better ones I ever remember. But yeah, Riddle gets a win over Morrison, like we were saying. Next up on the show, we had the New Day versus Retribution. Um, quick kind of tag team match. There wasn't much in this. You could hear, which was pretty funny, for long stages throughout the match. Um, Xavier Woods on the outside, he was calling for reckoning Mia Yim. He still wants to fight Mia Yim, saying that he's beaten everyone else in Retribution. Kofi Kingston, you know what? At one point, Retribution had this match won. They done T-Bar and Mace, who were the competitors involved in this match. They done a double choke slams, the sit down choke slam thing that they do. And instead of going for the pin, Mustafa Ali was telling them, do it again, do it again. And this is where Kofi kind of fought his way back into the match before pinning T-Bar and New Day getting away with the win. Mustafa Ali came into the ring and completely berated Retribution, saying that, you know, how many times you're going to embarrass me? Look at the opportunities I'm giving you guys and you don't win and all of this kind of stuff. And to be honest, this was his fault that they didn't win, because they were going to put away the New Day earlier on. Um, this insult, this berating he does to Retribution happens too many times. So it seems like it is just a matter of time where, you know, they are going to turn on him. They're not going to take this anymore because, you know, why are they going to stand there and keep being insulted, especially in times where they can win matches? He's telling them to do otherwise. They are following instruction and then it's not working. And then he has the cheek to come and blame them. So yeah, that he needs to fix up. He needs to fix up because of that. And in other news, they need to find something substantial to do in Mia Yim, man. Mia Yim is just doing absolutely nothing. Good to see her back. Obviously, she was away. She had COVID for a little period a couple of weeks back. But yeah, they need to find something to do. This is not a good use of her. She's just become like a valet or something, man. Not doing anything productive at all. Um, right, there was a segment, I believe. So now the first hour had gone by, and Bobby Lashley, he came out to the ring dressed, ready for a wrestling match. And when Miz came out, this was all officiated by Adam Pearce at first. When Miz came out, Miz was still dressed in a suit, so you could see Bobby Lashley's face drop. He was thinking, is this guy taking me seriously or what? Miz got into the ring and Miz pleaded, look, I just need more time. The hour's not enough. I need more time, things to consider. I'm happy to have the match, just not, you know, this week. Like, he basically alluded to something like that. Then out of nowhere, Strowman came. Braun Strowman, who was furious a couple of weeks ago, he wasn't involved in the Elimination Chamber match. He came out and he started basically complaining that he should have the title picture, not Lashley. He's more credible than Lashley. He's a past champion and Lashley isn't. And then Shane McMahon came out. Shane McMahon was telling Adam Pearce, you know, what kind of place are you running here? Like, what's going on with all of this? He basically stood up to Braun Strowman and said to Braun Strowman, you're an ex-Universal champion. You're not a WWE champion. And that's why you weren't in the Elimination Chamber match. And Bobby Lashley, it's more Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was really pushing that for his involvement. Bobby Lashley knew he was going to get his match because of obviously the previous agreement that that was made, and then Braun Strowman came and got involved. So we had Braun Strowman by the end of the segment. Just to wrap this up, by the end of the segment, they had agreed that Braun Strowman was going to take on Bobby Lashley in the main event on the night. And if Braun Strowman got the win, Braun Strowman would be added to the WWE Championship match that's going to happen next week. So either way, we were going to get Bobby Lashley versus Miz next week for the WWE Championship. The match here was to see if Braun Strowman was to be added if he beat Bobby Lashley. So yeah, Miz's face dropped after this segment. He wasn't happy at all, but it's the deal he made, you know? It's the deal he made, so he's got to stick to it, sort of thing. So yeah, that was pretty good to see. In this segment, to end the segment, Bobby Lashley chop blocked Braun Strowman and made away. And just as a side note, I think we're getting Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. It's looking like they're butting heads a bit frequently. Um, Shane McMahon, is he a draw? Is he one of the four main events that they want? I don't know. I wouldn't agree, but it looks like we're probably heading for some type of Shane McMahon Braun Strowman match. Let me know what you think about that. Next up on the show, we had the Hurt Business taking on Lucha House Party. Tornado tag action, which was good to see. It's not often we see tornado tag matches announced, tornado tag matches. It's just normally a regular tag match. So this was fun, especially with the skill of the guys involved in this. What was good to see for me, because I'm enjoying the Hurt Business, was not MVP, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin on the same wavelength. They were very much no arguments, just working together for the cause, which I thought was pretty good. And in the end, we saw I think it was some type of knee strike by Cedric Alexander to Dorado, and then Shelton Benjamin hit him with the pay dirt, and then he got the pin. So Hurt Business, it wasn't for the tag titles or anything, but they continue to look strong. Just now they're actually like a functioning team. So yeah, that was really good to see. Next up on the show, we had Angel Garza versus Damien Priest. Obviously, Bad Bunny was at ringside. This was a confusing match because I know the whole point of this match was to make Damien Priest look good, put him over further. But I feel like Angel Garza got quite a bit in this match, you know. I felt like he was on the offensive for quite a bit. There was a section just before the end, the finish came, where Damian Priest was outside the ring for quite a while, and then you saw Angel Garza just jaw jacking with Bad Bunny, and it's like, are you gonna go out there and attack him, or are you gonna pay attention to the match that you're involved in? And eventually, Damian Priest came back into the ring and capitalized on all of that, put him away. So yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Like it was what it was. It was to, like I say, it was to make Damian Priest look good. But I just think like Angel Garza put up too much of a fight, if you see what I mean. But yeah, it is what it is. Damian Priest is in good company right now, so I can't complain about that. Right, before we move on, we had some women's action, but before we get to it, guys, please make sure you've hit the thumbs up button for this video. If you're enjoying the video, please hit the thumbs up button. It does loads for the channel. I thoroughly appreciate it every time you guys do that. So yeah, please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Next up, Asuka and Charlotte versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. What is the need for this match? It wasn't for the women's titles, but I just don't understand where this comes from and for what reason. This match was okay. It was nothing special. The main, I guess, confusion in this match came was when Charlotte was going for a big boot on, I think it was Nia Jax. Nia Jax got out of the way, and she hit Asuka with this boot. Asuka was kind of knocked out. Charlotte was then taken out by Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax dropped a leg drop on Asuka for the win. So yeah, Charlotte has, I guess, crossed the battle lines with Asuka now. She's been letting the family feuding and all of that personal issues involve themselves in Charlotte and Asuka's matches, and now she's actually struck Asuka, and I'm sure Asuka won't take too kindly to that. Although she didn't retaliate in this instance right here, um, yeah, she's not gonna be happy with that, I'm sure. And this is probably where we're gonna start getting more of a look at what the Raw Women's title picture is gonna look like going into WrestleMania. Having said that, we saw promo packages on the night of Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley will be joining the Raw roster soon, it seems. He said that she's coming soon. I'm not really sure the need for all of these promos and vignettes because Rhea Ripley isn't a stranger to the main roster. She's been on the main roster before. She was on the main roster for stints here and there last year before her WrestleMania match. She's wrestled at main roster pay-per-views, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. So I'm not really sure all of this, like I said, they should have had the Asuka match on the Elimination Chamber card, and Rhea Ripley answered the open challenge and won. That would have been the best way to debut Rhea Ripley. So I don't care for all of these packages. Like I say, we all know who Rhea Ripley is. We all know she's not a secret. So yeah, this isn't doing anything to sell her to the crowd or get us looking forward to her. They had an opportunity to make her look great last night, and they didn't even have a Raw Women's Championship match at all. So yeah. Going back to Charlotte, she actually had a backstage promo with Ric Flair, which seemed pretty real. It seemed like a shoot. She was telling Ric Flair how upset she is that he's trying to basically get someone over on her time, and make her look bad, although all she's trying to do is protect their family legacy. It was really heartfelt. Charlotte looked like she was crying at times. I think her and Ric Flair delivered this segment really well. Probably the most interesting thing Charlotte's done since she's returned. So yeah, this if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Like I say, it's kind of weird because there's a lot of emotion in it. Like I said, she looks like she's holding back tears at times. So yeah, pretty interesting. It was interesting to see where they go from now. I think maybe assuming Rhea Ripley's getting into the women's title picture once she comes up, maybe Charlotte Flair is paired with her dad Ric Flair one last time to see if they can overcome whoever the Raw Women's Champion is going to be going into WrestleMania. Um, just to give them that last hurrah on screen together. Maybe that will work. But yeah, pretty decent segment. Next up on the show in terms of action, we had Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. Um, I think like we've seen these guys quite a bit. They just moved to Raw at the last draft. We saw their SmackDown rivalry, which was very good with all the pee and the fighting in the bar and all of that kind of stuff. Sheamus has been very, very good for weeks now, and I'm happy they kept him strong. He got a win over Jeff Hardy here with a bro kick. Although Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, it has to be said, they had a really decent match on the night, but it's just there was little to be invested in. This match really should have been Sheamus versus AJ Styles because AJ Styles eliminated Sheamus in the chamber. But yeah, they just put these two chamber opponents together, and like I say, bro kick to Jeff Hardy, and Sheamus gets the win here. So he's being kept strong here. Jeff Hardy, he doesn't need to be kept strong because he's people just like him in it. They can bring him back anytime, and no one's going to start looking at his win-loss record or anything like that. So, yeah, Sheamus gets the win here. Next up, we had Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and this was pretty disappointing. Naomi and Lana are the number one contenders for the women's tag championships. They weren't really given any time here. 2 minutes. This was like the kind of stuff that was happening when they started that Give Divas a Chance movement online and stuff. Like, just a 2 minute match against Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke didn't mean nothing. A double face buster put away Mandy Rose, and that was it. That was literally all she wrote. So yeah, it was pretty disappointing, to be honest, that these guys weren't given any more time at least within this story. But yeah, there's nothing really more to say about that. Next up, we also had what I'd call another filler match, despite high quality names on show. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Nothing really memorable. They've had more memorable bouts um, within their time in WWE. However, I really want a full on Ricochet AJ Styles feud, not just a special kind of exhibition match every now and again. Um, but this is exactly what this was, just keeping both men busy. I guess AJ Styles will probably be the one that will be featuring somewhere on the WrestleMania card. I can't imagine Ricochet will be, especially in a singles capacity, maybe a multi-man match or something. But yeah, in the end here, we saw AJ Styles get the win with a Styles Clash. We saw Omos coming to the ring. He picked up Ricochet by his head, lifted Ricochet up above himself, and then just dropped him down. So if you guys don't know, it's more and more every week. Almost is becoming a bit more physical with other competitors. So maybe he's getting ready to get in the ring somewhat. But yeah, this just keeps AJ Styles looking strong, especially with his pairing with Omos. And last but not least, we had the main event match: Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. If Braun Strowman wins, Braun Strowman is added to the WWE Championship match on next week's Raw against, which is currently Bobby Lashley and The Miz. So it was very important that Braun Strowman got a win here. And you know what? This felt like a real kind of main event match. This felt like, the Brock Lesnar Goldberg matches where you knew this was not gonna go long. This was gonna just be like 5 minutes of just sheer brutality. And there was a lot of kind of strong moves, and um at times you saw Braun Strowman really dominating Lashley, without like, making Lashley look too weak. But it's like Bobby Lashley couldn't get one over the bigger man, and we saw Braun Strowman even lay Bobby Lashley with the running power slam, and Bobby Lashley kicked out. And yeah, to be honest, I think Bobby Lashley is one of the only people that have kicked out of this. I assume maybe the likes of Goldberg have as well. But yeah, Bobby Lashley kicked out, and that really put some doubt into Braun Strowman. Um, and from here, Bobby Lashley really grew into the match. He was really showing that kind of form that he's been showing in recent weeks. Lashley eventually got to his feet and gave a spear to Strowman for the win, and he keeps the WWE Championship match as just himself and the Miz. After this, we saw further instruction from MVP to put Braun Strowman in the Hurt Lock, which he did. And yeah, so he's pretty much taken Braun Strowman out of this picture for now. Miz was on commentary during this match. Miz ran into the match, I think, when Bobby Lashley was celebrating to try and attack him. Um, he got taken down. Miz got slammed down, and then he got speared by Bobby Lashley as well. WWE Championship line in the ring. Bobby Lashley took the championship and held it above his head on the top rope, celebrating. Man, it looks good, isn't it? It looks good. He looks good with the title. You know, Bobby Lashley has deserved this title for quite a while. Let's be completely honest. But one thing, we mentioned Braun Strowman, The Miz. One person that we didn't see on Monday Night Raw, because that was the end of the show, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre did not appear in this show. And because this title didn't change hands tonight, like I assumed it would, I think we will probably go all the way to Fastlane then, as Miz, with Miz as champion. I think that I feel like every segment that I'm making like a prediction or something like that. But I do think that Bobby Lashley and Miz are gonna have their match next week, and maybe Drew McIntyre gets involved. Yeah, Drew McIntyre gets involved, kind of screws both guys over, and that is going to lead to a triple threat match at Fastlane: Miz, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Um, Maybe Bobby Lashley wins it there. I don't know, but Drew McIntyre has to kind of re-enter this picture somewhere. Um, but yeah, I'm just loving what I'm seeing from Bobby Lashley right now. I wouldn't even mind if we don't see Drew McIntyre as champion again. Bobby Lashley is clearly someone that is fired all the way up right now, and can do damage with this WWE Championship. Man, this is what deserves. I'm just seeing Arpit's comment. He goes, "Give the title to Lashley ASAP. He became my favorite after today, and he's been booked like a beast." Yeah, yeah, literally. We have to start respecting Bobby Lashley. This is very, very overdue. Um, I don't want Bobby Lashley to win this for 1 month to just go and lose it to Drew at WrestleMania. I'd rather he just doesn't win it till after WrestleMania. Um, there's no point giving him a 1 month reign. Bobby Lashley is not a transitional champion. He is someone that should have a very dominating run, similar to what Drew has done in the past year. So yeah, I'm not into him having just a 1 month reign. They better not do that. Like honestly, just forget about it if you're gonna do it. Just leave it till later. But yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get Drew versus Miz versus Bobby Lashley now at Fastlane for this championship because it never changed hands tonight. But guys, that is your Raw review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. Catch me doing another live stream later on today for Wrestle Extra with Black Wrestling Alliance. We've got a lot to talk about, obviously out of Elimination Chamber, and of course Sasha Banks' interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you haven't seen it on the network, phenomenal interview, absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, that is all from me for now. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.